trained as a marine biologist. That was her, I know. But hey, inspired by...
Before I went astray.
Yeah. And then inspiration came along in a specific event. But yes, that's everything changed since then. She lived in various, as I said, places in Kuwait, Egypt, which gave this sort of versatile profile and enriched her artistic portfolio quite a lot. So she mastered a number of music styles from the Gulf, Iraq, Iran, Yemen, India, and East Africa. Reem is bilingual and bicultural, appealing to Arab and non-Arab audiences. She combines musicality, meticulous field research, excellent knowledge of Arabic and Arabic language, and respect for the conventions of Arabic music. Reem researches, composes, and arranges her own material. She has pioneered the introduction of Arabic and Palestinian singing in schools across the UK, presented numerous lectures at many institutes and universities all over the world. Her rigorous work stands out at grassroots level with British school children, community choirs, multicultural projects, and diverse audiences for over 35 years now. She's also, the other hat, she's also a prominent broadcaster. She, a regular one also, on BBC Radio 4, and presented a wide range of programs and documentaries. To name a couple, Songs of Tahrir on the music of the Egyptian Revolution, and 2 series of distant chords on the music of migrant communities in the UK. Reem has done so much to introduce Arabic and Palestinian music, as well as music from the world of Islam, to non-Arabs and non-Muslims. It's a great tribute to Reem's pioneering work that her debut album, Sprintin' Gazelle, we've got here some copies here, yeah. Sprintin' Gazelle, Palestinian songs from the motherland and the diaspora is now included, actually, in the model music curriculum for schools in England. The album comes after years of research.
20
years of research, recording and collating folk songs from women in her maternal home of Nazareth, in the refugee camps and of Palestine and Lebanon and elsewhere in the diaspora. She released a number of great albums following her very successful debut album, Sprintin' Gazelle, such as Reem Kelani, Live at Tabernacle, and the singer said Bird of Dawn, influenced by lots of Iranian music also. The very beautiful singer, If I Must Die, in tribute to the Palestinian scholar Rifat al-Arair, who got assassinated during the genocide in Gaza. And most recently, Reem released her single, Himno de Andalucía, dedicated to the memory of Andalusian thinker, writer, and political reformer, Blas Infante.
Ole.
Ole. Who said ole? You said ole, ole. So really, she has earned a place as an international artist who enjoys widespread critical acclaim and a strong following with huge artistic and personal integrity. For me, as I said, as a Palestinian academic in the diaspora who research on memory, performing arts, she is, to me, really a source of inspiration. She's a powerhouse. She's full of inspiration, and as I said, I will never be able to really fully describe how I feel. And she does represent for many Palestinians, especially young generations, a sense of hope, revival, and steadfastness. Please join me warmly to welcome, a very, very warm welcome to Reem Kelani.
Thank you, Farah. Thank you. Can you all hear me? Farah and I also come from a most wonderful village outside Jenin called Ya'bad. from where Sheikh Izzuddin al-Qassam was assassinated by the British. Bismillah. My name is Reem Kelani, and I'm going to take you on a journey today from Palestine through to Egypt, through to Muslim Iberia, also known as Al-Andalus. You'll think, what's this crazy woman doing? I'm taking us to all sorts of places. And hopefully by the end of this presentation, you will see and find out why. The opening screen, thank you, Tom, from Al Walid Center, my technical anchor. Thank you, Farah, so much for inviting me. And thank you, Dalia, for bringing the heart of Egypt into our work together. This particular painting is by a great Palestinian painter, Muhammad Bushnaq. His real name is Muhammad Salih Mradovic, from the Bosnian community in Palestine, Al-Bashanqa, Al-Bushnaq. And he called this painting Sister Towns. And now, the biggest inspiration of all. Can we get rid of, not the lovely big mamas, but these intrusive thing? Thank you, Tom. And this, okay, so look at these women. The daughters of Sheikh Yusuf al-Dajani, originally from Beit Dajan, southeast of Jaffa, taken by the great ethnographer Sheila Weir. Look at their chest panel and look where the breast begins. The breast, the bosom, the motherhood, the land. I mean, whenever I see this picture, I just want to do this. And put my head on their breast. And look at the defiance, look at the smile. We're hard done by, but we're not your victims. But we are hard done by. We need to get our justice. But we can smile, we're not your victims. We're the big mamas. They are my inspiration. They always have been. I was in the village of Nazareth, a village called Nain outside Nazareth. If there's any practicing Christian here, will know the village Nain, where Jesus brought the widow's son to life again. And I attended this wedding, and I just saw big mamas like this sing and dance. And being a diaspora Palestinian in Kuwait, all you see in weddings there is, in Kuwait, the bride and groom dancing to feelings, nothing more than feelings. And then suddenly, and I just thought, wow, if this is what it takes to be Palestinian, it is cool. Before we do any singing, this is the part that my students hate, but we need to do a little bit of it. It's also to break the ice. That black band is driving me bonkers. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. So just a little bit of warming up. It will help. Thank you so much, Tom. Round of applause for Tom. And this is good for people with lung disorders. Do check the English National Opera. They're starting a wonderful program, the ENO, for asthmatic patients using singing. So I'm relying on some of their exercises. The black band is all over again, but never mind, because it will cover things, you see. It should go. Go, go, go. So we will just breathe in together, breathe out. First rule of thumb, the less you hear yourself breathe, the better you're breathing. So instead of going, always breathe in through your nose and you breathe out with pursed lips. So let's start together. Breathe in through your nose. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Breathe out for 8. And again, and again. All over again. And 1. Try not to hear yourself. Hold your breath for 4. Breathe out through pursed lips. So on and so forth. You might think this is a stupid exercise. It's one of the most basic yet important. Now, I didn't have a good night's sleep. How many didn't? How about we do some yawning? Ah! Let me hear some yawning. Yeah. No shrinking violets when with Reem. Yalla, yalla, yalla. Ah! Ah! And then, of course, when this workshop ends, you will be upset that I'm leaving. You'll go, ah! You'll sigh. Please don't go. Ah! Sirening, this is the thing. You know the word sing, yeah? Hold on to the ing, sing, hold on, ing, and watch me. No, you have to breathe in. أول فضحتينا. We started the breathing in first. Yeah, so breathing, and remember the word saying, breathe in 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Believe it or not, you have warmed up your voice. Now, if it were, can you hear me? Because I can't hear me. You can hear me. That's a typical singer. Need to hear herself. Needless to say, members of my band, they have a series of singers' jokes. Why is the singer at the door? She doesn't know when to come in. Horrible singer jokes. Now we're going to meet one of the most important elements of singing, of music, of everything. It's called the tonic. It's not what you have with gin, not in this context at least. It is the musical ground on which your feet stand. In Arabic, it's a beautiful name. It's called qarar, decision making. You decide which pitch you're singing. So when we breathe in, and then we breathe out, when we breathe out, we will breathe out with this note. So watch me, please. Okay? So what will happen is we'll do it together. Now, if you run out of breath, stop R-ing. The person next to you is singing. So don't feel, you don't feel like, and then remember, when you want to breathe in, let your lungs become the sponge. So if you do this, watch me. The lungs will take it, and you don't need to go breathe in. Sometimes your lungs can passively bring the oxygen in without you working hard for it. So 3, 2, 1, take a deep breath. Hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, give me. Keep going. If you want to take a break, someone else. And to make things more complex, Reem is going to do something completely different. The trick, you listen to yourself, listen to the person next to you like an unseen band, and then listen to me and stick to the pitch. It's what they call in Arabic, السهل الممتنع, the difficult easy. Keep going, baby. يا رايحين النبي خذوني بمحاملكم لا ني حديد ولا نبي ولاد ولا نبي ولاد أثقلكم هاتوا الألم والدواء والحبر سلطاني لاكتب مكاتيب هي أمه علي راح علي راح وما جاني. Keep going. When you run out of breath, stop. Each and every one in your own time. How do we feel now? At the count of 3, I'm going to ask you all to sing this pitch. So anybody who tells you that you're not pitch perfect, this is overratedness of someone born with a perfect pitch. It's acquired as well. Let me hear the pitch. 3, 2, 1. And now stop. You got it. And the way to practice that, keep a longer break and a longer break and a longer break until you improve your pitch. And now, Tom, it's not happening, Tom. It's not, this band is stopping things from moving. So I have to do it by, it's happening now. Don't disappear.
I'm here.
So I would like you to turn to the pages. My bad, I didn't send the songs in order, so they're not in the order you have. But Farah has brilliantly stapled them together so that each and every one of you, please do share them. We'll have 7 printouts. This particular song, it's called Hawiluna, Let Us In. Women sing this song in Palestine when they're taking the gifts to the wedding. This is another picture taken by Sheila Weir. This is women taking gifts to a wedding in Gaza in 1978. Where are these women or children or grandchildren now? I don't know. So, very simple. You are not here to learn Arabic. You are not here to come in and out singing all the Arabic songs that Reem will teach you. This is an icebreaker. This is us getting together. We are now in a Palestinian village, and we are going to take all these presents to the bride's house to pick up the bride to give her to her husband. Let us in, our loved ones. Don't you go upsetting us. Our tradition is to dress in finery. Our tradition is to marry well. Our generosity is unsurpassed. So I will sing it, but I'd like you to give me the tonic. 3, 2, 1. It's a very low one. Bear with me, please. Shut up. Hawiluna. No, too loud. Too loud. Hawiluna. Good. So now you can, when Reem does this, it means stop slowly but surely. Beautiful, my orchestra. حولونا حولونا وحبايب لا تزعلونا. عادتنا نلبس مقاصب، عادتنا نناسب مناصب، بالكرم 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 ما تغلبونا. Do you think you can sing this song with me? Oh, yes, you can. So what we're going to do you remember when we were all kids, in my case, a very long time ago, you follow the bouncing ball. So the bouncing ball are the bold-faced letters. So it's the accents. So let's just vocalize it. Remember, you are here to get the gist of things. I want more enjoyment and less sticking to the letter. The enjoyment is your priority. Agreed? So Reem is going to vocalize it. حولونا حولونا حبايب لا تزعلونا. And again, حولونا حولونا حبايب لا تزعلوا. Melody. حولونا حولونا وحبايب لا تزعلونا. On your own. Wait. And حولونا لونا وحبايب لا تزعل. I'm going home. This is brilliant. The second 2 lines are the same melody. Let's vocalize them. عادتنا نلبس مقاصب، عادتنا نناسب مناصب. And عادتنا نلبس مقاصب، عادتنا نناسب. Melody. And عادتنا نلبس مقاصب وعادتنا نناسب مناصب. And عادتنا نلبس مقاصب وعادتنا نناسب مناصب. Wow, from the top. And حولونا حولونا وحبايب لا تزعلونا عادتنا نلبس مقاصب وعادتنا نناسب مناصب. Now follow me. بالكرم تم 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 بالكرم. Now and again بالكرم 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 ما تغل. Wow, you did it. From the top, are we ready? Right, here we go. A one, a two, a one, two. حولونا حولونا وحبايب لا تزعلونا عادتنا نلبس مقاصب عادتنا وبالكرم 5 4 3 2 1 هو بالكرم 4 3 2 1 وبالكرم ما تغلبونا. Now, do you think I have a bit of passion in me? I want you to take some of that passion, clap and sing from the top. A one, a two, a 1 2 3 and حولونا حولونا وحبايب لا تفعلونا عادتنا نلبس مقاصد نسيب مناصب كهرام بالكرم بالكرامة. last line. وبالكرامة غلبونا وبالكرامة. Give me the tone. A big fat wow. Well done, beautiful. And so, as I showed you before, it's done it again, I'm afraid. Thank you. This is a picture taken in Gaza in 1978 of women taking these presents. So as they're taking these presents, oh, how they're taking it and singing the song as they go. In 1989, the British Museum published a book that Sheila Weir published called Palestinian Costume, an excellent book. Anybody interested in the arts, in embroidery, in beauty, in resilience, in culture, buy the book. This was the British Museum in 1989, and the British Museum in 2026 removes the word Palestine from the display. This was taken a couple of weeks ago. Look at the green line. It says the ancient Levant comprises modern Jordan, Israel, Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon. West Bank is the name invented by Israel after 1948. So this was the British Museum in 1989. This is the British Museum in 2026. This happened because a Zionist lobby group in the UK called UK Lawyers for Israel, I don't know who appointed them, they approached the British Museum and they asked that they remove the word Palestine. They even approached the Open University. Dr. Marcella Ward was also asked to remove the word Palestine from all their teaching material. And she said, it is a project of rewriting ancient history according to the narrative that best suits the colonizer. UK Lawyers for Israel also seem not to be fans of yours truly. So they made sure that whenever I get invited to a venue, they go and threaten the venue with legal action. What is my crime? Look at the second paragraph. Miss Kelani falsely accused Israel of committing genocide. So they're also canceling Palestinian activities. It's difficult enough as a woman, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant woman in the music business, and then you're a Muslim and an Arab and a Palestinian, and then the UK Lawyers for Israel come and do this. We will continue to fight. We will continue to exist. It is not easy, but this is just, I remember a friend of mine once told me, silence is the abuser's best friend. Don't be silent. And because we're not going to be silent, we're going to sing another Palestinian song. And this Palestinian song dates back to the days of the British Mandate. Some say it dates back to the Ottoman times. It's called Going Up the Mountain. I do apologize once again. Try and find the word. I'll tell you the title every time I need a song. Going Up the Mountain. Ya Tali'in al-Jabal. Traditional Palestinian. It is about singing in code. When women used to visit their menfolk in prison, they would play with the word so that the prison officer doesn't understand the word they were saying. Basically, that's what it is, singing in code. Imlola, where they to mask the words. Basically, they're saying, so the translation, as much as I could, it's those of you going up the mountain, lighting the fires as you climb. In the dark of night, Yaman, Yaman, think fondly of their loved ones. Loved ones are the ones coming to liberate the men in prison. I'm going to sing it first. Don't panic. And then you're going to do it. يا طالعين على الجبل يا مولو موقدين النار بيلي يا من يا من عيلي للهنا يا روح لا بدي منك للو ما خلعة ولا لا بدي زنار بيلي يا من يا من عيلي للهنا يا روح إلا غزالي الذي جوالي كن بالدار بيلي يا من عيلي للهنا يا روح. See the two bottom lines? Let's practice them first because they're the chorus. So, Beilili Yaman. Repeat. Be. The next one. Ailili Lilhana ya Ruh. From Bay, please. And Bay. With melody, listen to Reem the first time, and then you sing after Reem. Beilili Yaman Yaman, Ailili Lilhana ya Ruh. And Beilili Yaman Yaman, Ailili Lilhana ya Ruh. Next time I come to Edinburgh, you're all gonna come and sing with me. So let's now vocalize the first two lines, and I will do them line by line, okay? Am I going too quick for you? Am I going too quick? Thank you. يا طالعين على الجبل and يا طالعين. It's an echo. Oh. In the mountain. So, and again. يا طالعين على الجبل and. Second line, follow me. And يا مولو موقدين نار. And. Wow. بيلي ليلي يا من. وعيلي للهنا يا الروح. When my Egyptian nephew was 3 years old, I was in my 20s. At that time, I didn't know whether I wanted to be a biologist or a musician. And he just looked at me and said, عارفة يا خالته أنا لما أكبر عايز أبقى زيك. You know what, auntie? When I grow up, I want to be like you. And I said, what do you mean like me, man? I don't even know what I am. No, I didn't mean that. I meant crazy. مجنون كده يا خالته. Honest to God. So I am going to make you enter the crazy zone with me today, okay? Now let's sing it together. No repeat after me. Sing with me. And this is, when you count someone into this song, you say, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know why? Because it's a 10-beat song. If you just look at my fingers. يا طالعين على الجبل يا مولو موقدين النار بيلي يا من عيلي للهنا يا روح 9 10 يا طالعين على الجبل يا مولو موقدين النار بيلي يا من عيلي للهنا يا روح 9 10 يا طالعين على الجبل يا مولو موقدين النار بيلي للهنا. And now Reem will sing two lines, two different lines, and then you come back on Bailey Lilil, Ailey Lilil. Agreed? لا بدي منك ليلو مخلعة ولا لا بدي زنار. ناين 10 إلا غزالي الذي جوالي اللي يكون في الدار. ناين 10 all together. يا طالعين على الجبل يا مولو موقدين النار بيلي يا من حيلي للهنا يا روح. Well done you. Give yourselves a round of applause. There we go. And now we're traveling to Egypt. Now, if you noticed, I didn't put the cliche image of the pyramids or the Nile. I put the picture of an ophthalmic hospital in El Giza for very good reason, and we'll find out shortly. This is the Memorial Institute for Ophthalmic Research, formerly known as the Giza Memorial Ophthalmic Laboratory. It was established in Giza in 1925 to honor Egyptian men who were forcibly enlisted by the British to work in the Egyptian Labor Corps, قوة العمل المصرية. If you look, there's a plaque you can see there's in the center panel, there's a plaque, and it's hidden behind the bushes. I'll show them to you in proper magnification shortly. Two names that are extremely important in Egyptian contemporary collective history and in music and in poetry and verse are Sayyid Darwish, 1892 to 1923, and his long-term lyricist Badi' Khairi, 1893 to 1966. In the Arab world, we have this obsession with just focusing on the musician, on the singer, on the composer. Rarely does the lyricist, so it's not like Brecht and Weil, you know, when people talk about, it's many times the name Badi' Khairi goes unnoticed. Sayyid Darwish was a great singer, composer, known by many as the godfather of contemporary Arabic music. He took the music to the streets and sang about the streets. But the genius of Badi' Khairi, he was a social chronicler. Now, Sayyid Darwish worked with another great name, Bayram al-Tunsi, another great lyricist. But Badi' Khairi was a social chronicler, talking about different groups in the community, specifically the marginalized groups in the community. We're about to listen to one of his most famous songs, music by Sheikh Sayyid Darwish. The lyrics are by Badi' Khairi. Let's listen to it and enjoy it. Those who speak Arabic can sing along with the lyrics that will appear. But don't worry, those who don't will come to you later. Let's go. رحنا وجي واربط عندك نزلني فيه. Now, passion. Go to the song that says Salma ya Salama. Well done, those who are singing and enjoying it. This is possibly one of the most famous Arabic songs. The snag is that it became famous by someone who has nothing to do with Sayyid Darwish, and she only used the chords. Can someone tell me who? Dalida, Italian Egyptian singer, who used the chorus, Salma ya Salama, Salama, on a completely different melody, completely different song. Wonderful Arabic pop music, but it's not the original song. So the chorus says, we've traveled away, we're now at home, safe and sound. Blow your whistle, oh, Wahoo. Wahoo comes from the word, so steam plane, steamship, they say Wahoo. Stop right there in your tracks, drop me off where I
working, but you have to hold it.
Okay, I will hold it.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I will hold it.
Sorry about that.
No, not at all. Can you now hear me? Wonderful. Apologies to the online folk. I send you my love, but apparently it's only 2 seconds that you lost my voice. I am back. You're not going to get rid of me. So, Salma ya Salama is a song that relies on one of the most basic and organic ways of singing worldwide, call and. It's as simple as that. Yet another sahil mumtana, another difficult, easy, profound. So let's vocalize it. And this time we'll just go on because there's still other areas to explore and other songs, but I'm not going to rush it. So try and sing with me. Remember, the bold-faced letters are the accents. So when Reem is doing this now, I'm just going to be doing the bold letters. Ya Salma, Ya Salama, Ya Salma, and vocalize with me. Salma, Ya Salama, رحنا وجينا بالسلامة, Ya Salma, Ya Salama. Let's just do this one to start with. Salma, everybody's happy with this pitch? So East Bank, West Bank, green line. So this section, Ya Salma, Ya Salama, Ya Salma, Ya Salama. And again. Ya. Some more passion. And. Ya Salma, Ya Salama. So any of you who don't want to sing the verse, stick to that. Because that's also like the drone. It's the engine of the vapor. It's the steam engine of the train or the ship. So anytime you don't want to sing the verse, just stick to Salma ya Salama. You think it's a silly thing. It's actually quite profound. In Arabic, you know what they call the drummer? The rhythm officer. ضابط الإيقاع. So you will be the rhythm officer. So if you don't want to do the actual verse, stick to Salma ya Salama, ya Salma ya Salama. All right? So now... let's go, and then second line for me, please. Salma ya Salama, رحنا وجينا بالسلامة. Follow me. رحنا وجينا. On your own. And. أروح أنا بقى. Brilliant. So now let's do the verse. صفر يا وبر وربط عندك. نزلني في البلد دي. Oh no, it's gonna be very low. Oh my God, somebody is, wow. صفر يا no, too high. صفر يا نور عندك سلمى يا سلامة يا سلمى يا سلامة رحنا وجينا بالسلامة. And again. يا سلمى يا سلامة. Second line. سلمى يا سلامة رحنا وجينا بالسلامة. And then all together. سلمى يا سلامة. Here comes the verse. صفر يا وربط عندك. After me. نزلني في البلد دي. بلا أمريكا بلا أوروبا ما في شيء أحسن من بلدي. دي المركب اللي بتجيب دي المركب اللي أحسن من اللي بتودي أحسن يا اسطى بشندي. Are we ready from the top? A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, and سلمى يا سلامة يا سلمى يا سلامة. Together. سلمى. Verse. صفر يا وربط عندك نزلني في البلد ما في شيء أحسن من بلدي. دي المركب اللي بتجيب أحسن من اللي بتودي يا اسطى بشندي. Give yourselves a big سلمى يا سلامة applause. Remember we spoke about the name Bashandi? I would like you to pay attention to the next slide. These are the two plaques that I mentioned earlier on either side of the building of the hospital. So in the middle, under the wooden pylon on the right and on the left, they are here magnified. The one on the left honors the Egyptian Labor Corps, ELC, قوة العمل المصرية. 500,000 laborers were forcibly recruited by the British. The Camel Transport Corps, CTC, 170,000. 10,000 of them perished in the war. They were pushed to work within enemy lines. So you rarely hear about them. How many people knew about the Egyptian Labor Corps? And how many didn't? That says something. So on Remembrance Sunday, make sure you think of them as well, please. This was a memorial built for them in the hospital, the Memorial Institute for Ophthalmic Research. On the left, you see the laborers carrying the heavy boxes, and many of them died of thirst. On the right, you will see the Camel Corps. Many of these young Egyptian men died to protect the camels, believe it or not. So this seemingly joyous song, it's about these people who were forcibly enlisted to serve, and many were enlisted from Upper Egypt, hence the name Bashandi, because they're known to be tough. They went for Saidi men. So it's for me, this song is very painful to sing. In fact, it is known amongst specialists as what's wrong with me? قوة العمل المصرية. It's actually عمال السلطة. لحن عمال السلطة. لحن عمال السلطة, the anthem for the Egyptian Labor Corps. So it's very important to think of them. The other thing I'd like to mention about them, if we look at them through a colonial hierarchical lens, so there was exploitation, marginalization, and erasure. The coercive colonial labor system, they had horrible working conditions, including under fire. They were forcibly enlisted, as I said, from Egypt, often referred to as the poor relations. If you go to the Somme, where there are many graves, even the tombs are lesser quality than the tombs of British people who fought in the First World War. Near absence from official remembrance, as you've just showed me yourself. 10,000 members perished between 1914 and 1918. Corporal punishment was very common, specifically flogging. And that led to resentment, and that resentment was one of many other reasons that caused the Egyptian Revolution of 1919. The other reason was that Egypt was promised independence. If you come and help us in the war, we'll give you independence, and that wasn't granted as well. So, a happy song, but a very, very sad story. A book I recommend is called The Egyptian Labor Corps, Race, Space, and Place in the First World War by Kyle J. Anderson. Anderson examines, listen to this, the way they coped, they as in the Egyptian Labor Corps, through music. You've just seen it yourself. You have just put into practice one of the means through which they coped. Music, theater, drugs. Sayyid Darwish, by the way, also wrote songs about drugs. Religion, strikes, and mutiny. He illustrates how the Egyptian nationalists, seeing their countrymen in a state akin to slavery, began to grasp that they had been racialized as people of color, as the poor relations. So this is for each and every one of the Egyptian Labor Corps. We are now moving. So we started, if this is the map of the world, we moved from Palestine to Egypt, and now we're crossing the Mediterranean, going all the way to Morocco. Hi, Muna, I know you're from Morocco. Crossing the Strait of Gibraltar, and we are landing, few hundred years ago, we are landing in Al-Andalus. 711 to 1492. How many people have been to Seville and seen Real Alcázar of Seville? Hands in the air, brilliant. Brilliant. So this was originally built by the Umayyad ruler Abd al-Rahman III, so the grandson of Abd al-Rahman I. But then later it was added on by the poet king of Seville, Al-Mu'tamid ibn Abbad. Has any of you covered some of his poetry in their classes? Well, maybe we should. So later it was also built, developed by Al-Mu'tamid ibn Abbad. However, the one that stands today is built by Christians. It's Modekhar style. So it was built in the style of the original palace, but it's not the original palace. Often people make the mistake and put it, oh, هذا قصر المعتمد ibn Abbad. No, it's not. It's built in the style of it. If you ask, there are excavations underneath where the original palace is. And we are moving to another painful theme of human history. The first one was the expulsion of the Palestinians, where the big mamas are the repositories who carry these songs. I once had a discussion with the late Edward Said. You remember his famous definition of the intellectual? And he just looked at me when I said, these women, many of them don't read and write. In my book, they are intellectuals in their own way. I learned some of the quirkiest rhythmic patterns from these women who don't read and write, let alone read music. So then we moved to another painful episode, which is the labor corps in Egypt. And we're about to talk another one that's not covered as much. And that is the forced baptism of Muslims in Iberia. When Los Reyes Católicos, when the Catholic kings came in 1492, they promised that Muslims and Jews will be allowed to keep their faith, to keep their religion, practice. That promise soon disappeared. In two times, one was between 1492 and 1502, the other one between 1521 and 1526. Has anyone been to Bournemouth before? Next time you're in Bournemouth, you'll see this painting. Go to the Russell Coates Art Gallery Museum. It's a beautiful painting, beautifully painful. You see the girl in green. She's asked to take her hijab off before she is baptized. So this depicts the forced baptism of the Moriscos, and I'll explain to you in a minute what the word Morisco means, under the orders of Archbishop Jimenez, the guy sat on the left, the Archbishop of Toledo, Tolaitila, between 1495 and 1517. Beautiful painting by Edwin Long. If you want to see it for real, it's quite overwhelming. Go to Bournemouth, the Russell Coates Art Gallery and Museum. A wonderful man from Granada tackled this theme, none other than Federico Garcia Lorca. Neither a revolutionary nor a rebel, but a true Andalusian chronicler and musician, not just poet and playwright. He's sitting at his piano in Granada. In a few seconds, you will actually hear him play the piano. There was a great Andalusian composer by the name of Manuel de Falla. I'm sure some of you who are into classical music would have heard his name. Manuel de Falla was the musical mentor of Federico Garcia Lorca. And de Falla told Lorca, why don't you go to the outskirts and villages of Granada and record songs from the big mamas? You see, a big mama is a big mama. You see them doing their walking songs in Scotland, you know, so a big mama is a big mama in Scotland, in Andalusia, today's Andalusia, in Palestine. So what Federico Garcia Lorca did is he took the advice of his mentor, Manuel de Falla, and went and recorded the big mamas. And then he came upon this song called Las Morillas de Jaén. So can you please find the paper that says Las Morillas de Jaén, Muslim maidens from Jaén. Three enchanting young women, maiden, set forth to pick some olives, only to find they had been picked in Jaén. You know where else that happens? When Palestinians go and pick their olives and they see that the settlers have picked. Same. The names were Aisha, Fatima, and Maryam. When they found they had been picked, downhearted, they turned back, their faces ashen in Jaén, Aisha, Fatima, and Maryam. To this day, most circles in the world music industry say this is a Sephardic song. Sephardic music is beautiful as it is. You don't need to appropriate a song about Moriscos. I don't think, a Sephardic woman is called Fatima or Aisha, the name of Prophet Muhammad's wife. So to this day, it's actually known as a Sephardic song. Yeah. So a Sephardic singer is more than welcome to sing it. The problem is that many Sephardic singers are Israeli singers, and they plug it as a Sephardic song. So for someone like me, they feel the theft double-fold, as a Palestinian and also as a Muslim. You will hear Federico Garcia Lorca playing the piano to a very famous singer called Argentinita. She was Spanish and Argentinian. The harmonies that Federico Garcia Lorca uses in the song are the same as everyone. I covered this song and we all use, in his honor, the same harmony. You will hear now Federico Garcia Lorca on the piano. The lyrics, you have them in front of you, and with the singing of Argentinita. Behave. 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 Here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful melody. That's Lorca. So not just the song is appropriated. If you go to a page that is called, again, also Las Morillas de Jaén, but it's the rhyme scheme of Zajal. Zajal is a poetic form that traveled from Baghdad during the days of Harun al-Rashid, from Abbasid Baghdad, and traveled to Iberia. Do we have any Spanish speakers? Perfect, you're going to sing with us in a minute. Are you from Spain? Andalusia, anyone? Are you from Andalusia? ¿De dónde eres? حبيبة قلبي, malqa in Arabic. Vale. So you're going to come and sing this song with me. Oh, yes. So if you look in Spanish, they say thejel, from the word zajal. Very simple, you have a chorus of 2 lines, yeah? The second line of the chorus is the last line of the stanza, the reprise. That is what zajal, come on, baby, come on. That's what zajal is. So this poetic form traveled from Baghdad to Iberia. Can someone tell me about an indigenous poetic form that developed in Iberia only during Al-Andalus? Not Zajal. Zajal was developed in Al-Andalus, but it wasn't born in Al-Andalus. Can someone tell me? I heard the ish sound. Muwashah, well done. Strophic, Habibat Albi from Gaza. Round of applause. So unfortunately, we don't have time and space for al-muwashah in Spanish, muaxajas, but we will cover zajal, thejel. And this song is actually, even although it's in the Spanish language, even the poetic form is Arabic. So you have a chorus in Spanish, estribillo, the stanza in Spanish, mudanza, and then the reprise in Spanish, vuelta, to come back. So, come. Come. Ven aquí, mi amor. Ven aquí. Round of applause. Hola. Vale. ¿Cuál es su nombre? Elena. Round of applause. We did applause. ¿Tiene voz bueno? Sí, venga. So, every time it's time to say Aisha, Fatima, and Maryam, you'll say it. Yeah? If you look at the lyrics at the top, no, in your papers, that's not on the board. Las Morillas de Jaén. Do you all have it? It's a page that says Las Morillas de Jaén, Muslim maidens from Jaén, anonymous. You have the chorus. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate that. Are we ready? Tres morillas me enamoran en Jaén. Aisha y María. ¿Te gusta? No. Aisha, Fatima y María. From the beginning, I love it. Tres morillas me enamoran en Jaén. Tres morillas tan garridas iban a coger olivas y hallaban las cogidas en Jaén. Aisha, Fatima y María. Y hallaban las cogidas y tornaban desmaídas. You are andaluza. Desmaída. Yes. Otra vez. Y hallaban las cogidas y tornaban desmaídas. Y los coleres perdidos en Jaén. Aisha, Fatima y María. Muchísimas gracias. Well done. ¡Viva Málaga! ¡Viva Málaga! So, well done. I threw you in the deep end, but Did you know this song before? Malagueña, mi amor. Did you know this song before? But it sounds familiar. You sang it really well. Con corazón andaluz. So we are moving on from the poetic structure. This is an important. Can someone tell me? This is also now the modern day pop song. If you look at it carefully. In the Christian Catholic palace after the fall of Granada, there was a book called Cancionero del Palacio. It's a palace songbook, and you can find the lyrics of this song. This is how old it is. And yes, and then the song ends with a very painful verse where the man tells them, you won't have the lyrics here. Tell me, where do you come from, maidens? Cristianas, que éramos moras in Jaén. Christians, we were once Muslim in Jaén. So until this part, Christians, we were once Muslim in Jaén, that was included in Lorca's version. But in the 15th century palace book, Cancionero del Palacio, I even found another verse where this Christian man who's in love with these three girls, the story is about a Christian cavalier. He sees Aisha, Fatima, and Maryam, and he goes, this is beautiful. Where at the end he says, when they tell him that they are Muslim, but they are Christian, but they were once Muslim. This is about the forcible baptism. He says, I swear to you by the Quran that I'm in love in the three of you. So even the word, I swear to you in the Quran is actually mentioned in the palace book, and it's now known as a Sephardic song. So I'm covering this song, and I'm singing it with the son of one of the greatest Andalusian singers. You will know the name Carlos Cano. So his song, son, a young cantautor. Cantautor, it means a singer-songwriter. So I'm just going to play, not me, this singer, Pablo Cano, sing the part where he's telling them, I swear to you by the Quran. Are we ready? No, I should be here. You're welcome, darling. Last verse. So, I swear upon the Quran in which, O maidens, you believe, not one but all three of you have left me in deep sorrow. Thus my eyes shall be consumed by you, for they behold you, Aisha, Fatima, and Maryam. And he does this as soon as they tell him, if you look at the verse before, when he says, I asked, who are you, maidens, captors of my heart? Christian maidens from Jaén, but we were once Muslim. Aisha, Fatima, and Maryam. I'll play this again for you, just to listen to it. And you will see that in the background, I actually put church organ to hint at the forced baptism.
¿Quién, Señora, cree que la una idolatre, grande van lo hizo, veneran vuelta.
An Arabist, a Spanish philologist and historian, Ramon Menendez Pidal, 1869 to 1968, proved my point when he said, the reluctance of many scholars to accept the influence of Zajal verse on early Romanesque lyric poetry is founded on a deep-rooted prejudice, that of the false belief in an intellectual disconnection between the Christian and the Islamic worlds. Listen to this sentence and read it very carefully. I'm not just talking about Zajal here. I'm not just talking about Aisha, Fatima, and Maryam here. It's about the belief in the intellectual disconnection between the Christian and the Islamic worlds. And if you look at the Moriscos, somebody will tell me, Reem, what does the word Moriscos mean? There is a correct way of defining them: new Christians or Christianized Moors. Of course, many people, me included, disagree with the word Moor because it's developed to have a different connotation. Because the Muslims in Andalus were not just Arab, they were also Amazigh, they were also indigenous Iberians, Muwalladin. So the real definition is new Christians or Christianized Moors, but they're treated as half Moors or little Moors. And if you look at the way they're imagined, if you go now and search for this song online, you will always see an Orientalist painting to show you who Aisha, Fatima, and Maryam were. You will always have an Orientalist painting to tell you who they are. Which reminds us of Edward Said, who said the Orient was almost a European invention and had been since antiquity a place of romance, exotic beings, haunting memories and landscapes. Remarkable experiences. But what's the snag here? The Orient, in the case of the Moriscos, isn't far away. When Orientalists thought of the Middle East and Orient, it was away. The Orient, the way in Spain they view the Moriscos, they Orientalize them, but they are actually indigenous Iberians. It's not from afar. It's Orientalism within. So it's a false geography of the Orient versus Europe, because the Moriscos are actually European. They're Iberian. They're as Iberian as they come, 800 years. It's an invented nature. So they invade, the oppressor invents the word Morisco, but with the invention of the word Morisco, they invent the nature of the person, the other. This is a paradox in Spanish memory, both collective and formal and educational. It also negates the indigeneity of Iberian Muslims. They are not Moriscos, they are Iberian, indigenous Muslims. This is distortion and honoring. Spain has recast the Moriscos as nameless present absentees. Where else do we hear the word present absentee? We know where. Why do you always keep making the analysis? Another exceptional figure in Andalusia, today's Andalusia, who also paid homage to the Arab and Muslim presence. He believed that part of the Andalusismo movement of today is to acknowledge the 800 years. It's 800 years. It's longer than the history of modern-day Spain. And yet you study the Visigoths, nothing, and then Reyes Católicos. So the 800 years, hello, Nigel, they're not there. So another important person for whom to pay homage is Blas Infante, 1885 to 1936. Blas Infante, or the way the Andalusians pronounce it, Blas Infante. The S becomes H. 1885 to 1936, known as the father of the Andalusian homeland, an exceptional man, a lawyer, a lyricist, a social activist, who accepted the 800 years. But at the same time, he said it wasn't the only thing. There was also the Amazigh, the Arab, the Muslim, even the African, the Jewish. So it's that universalist view of Al-Andalus or Andalusia. Now, when he decided to design the Andalusian flag of modern day, when you go to Andalusia, you will see this flag, most of you, green, white, and green, verde, blanca, y verde. He decided to call it La Arbonaida, from Al-Bulaida, the small country, i.e. Al-Andalus. So even the name of modern day, the name of the flag of modern day Andalusia is Arabic. So he designed it. He decided, okay, I want to design a flag for Andalusia. He dug and dug until he found a poem. The shadow of the fat woman there, that's me in the middle. You see that? Trying to take the picture. If you ever go to Seville, go to a little town called Correa del Rio. There is a beautiful museum there, Museo de Autonomía de Andalucía, and there is also the house where Blas Infante lived. He was picked up from his home, the beginning of the Spanish Revolution, and executed and dumped into a mass grave. He found this poem dating to around 1051 by Abu al-Asbagh Abdul Aziz ibn Arqam during the days of the Taifa kings. The Taifa kings are the days that were after the collapse of the Umayyad presence in Andalusia. So he read this poem and he decided, that's it, green, white, and green. So he decided to design the modern-day Andalusian flag based on a poem dating back to 1051. So this time, the spatio-temporal thing, this time it's the other way around. There is no appropriation. There is honoring, the total opposite of what happened with the song of Las Morillas de Jaén. نشرت عليك, those of you who speak Arabic, please read it with me. نشرت عليك من النعيم جناحا خضراء صيرت الصباح وشاحا ضمنت لك النعم برأي ظافر فترقب الفأل المشير نجاحا. So he decided, this is it. This is going to be the Andalusian flag. And this is me reading the poem in his honor. نشرت عليك من خضراء صيرت الصباح وشاحا ضمنت لك النعم برأي ظافر فترقب. You know what's coming next? نجاحا. La bandera blanca y verde. La bandera blanca vuelve, siglo de guerra, a decir paz y esperanza. You won't find this in your printout. So that's me paying homage to Blas Infante, because he also wrote the lyrics of what you just heard, the Andalusian anthem. So even the anthem of modern-day Andalusia, the flag of modern-day Andalusia, is inspired by Al-Andalus, not denied, like in the song Las Morillas de Jaén. The reason why I mentioned Blas Infante as well is not just because I wanted to play you my latest single or I wanted to show you the flag, but because he made an extremely important remark. You all know that when we say Nakba, we mean the catastrophe of the expulsion of the Palestinians in 1948. The word Nakba comes from the triliteral root N-K-B, N-K-B. The noun is Nakba. Now I have bold-faced the three triliteral letters. The noun Nakba is catastrophe or calamity. The verb nakaba, to distress someone or to afflict them with misfortune. The adjective is mankub, afflicted or ill-fated. In one of his writings, Blas Infante used the expression fallah mankub, an afflicted or ill-fated peasant, flamenco. That's Blas Infante, not Reem Kelani. And it is when around the, when the gypsies were coming into Iberia, the Moriscos were being expelled, they met each other, they were distressed, they were afflicted, they were ill-fated. Ay, 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 ay. You hear that cry, you hear that. Mankub, fallah mankub, flamenco. The word Nakba features as well in the expression flamenco. So this is the writing of, not about the Palestinian Nakba, but in terms of the flamenco context of Blas Infante. And another book I recommend that is based on the two stories, the two examples I used of the forcible baptism and also the expulsion of the Moriscos. A fantastic book and written, it's not for specialists, honestly. It's a wonderful book by Matthew Carr, Blood and Faith, The Purging of Muslim Spain, 1492 to 1614. Listen to this. The expulsion of the Moriscos was one of the most traumatic episodes in Spanish history. Yet, It has never occupied the same place in the historical memory of Spain or Europe as the expulsion of the Jews in 1492. By 1614, some 300,000 people had been expelled from Spain. Listen to this, the largest act of ethnic cleansing in early modern European history, the forgotten genocide. Look at this. The image on the left is from a famous novel called Los Monfíes de las Alpujarras. Monfíes come from Manfi, al-Manfiyun, those who were kicked from the Alpujarras. And the novel is by Manuel Fernández González. The painting is by Daniel Urrabieta Bierge. And then if you look on the expulsion of the Palestinians in 1948. Now, the expulsion of the Moriscos took place between 1609 and 1614. So although Granada fell in 1492, the Muslim presence remained there, but there was forcible baptism and expulsion. But the final expulsion happened between 1609 and 1614, kidnapping children to be adopted by Catholic parents and to be baptized as Catholics, drowning ships full of people trying to leave. They were drowned and killed. Horrors, horrors. So I would advise those who are looking for points of research to get into this as well. Connecting it with the expulsion of the Palestinians is not contrived. It looks at you straight in the face. The Palestinian image is right shortly after the horrific massacre of Tantura. This is actually the ethnic cleansing of the village of Tantura outside Haifa. We will mention Tantura in a short while, but look at this, the expulsion of the Moriscos and the expulsion of the Palestinians. This brings us to modern day, let's say 20 years ago, when a seminal TV series was produced. You've all heard of Anne-Marie Jasser's film Palestine 1936? Well, 20 years before that, a Palestinian screenwriter and a Syrian filmmaker got together and made this exceptional TV series, التغريبة الفلسطينية, The Palestinian Exodus, in 2004. I heavily recommend it. Unfortunately, it is in Arabic. It is exceptional. You are more than welcome. It is exceptional in documenting what happened, where the refugees are in a village, then next day they are on the street, then on the road, then next day they're in a tent, and then a tin shack, and the tin shack becomes a makeshift house, and so on and so forth. I will play to you now the opening sequence of this TV series, because Hatem Ali, this wonderful filmmaker, used the poem of Ibrahim Touqan, one of the great poets of Palestine from Nablus, as the opening sequence. Thank you so much, Hermana Malagenia, for your contribution. Hasta luego. Ale. And this is the opening sequence. Those who know the lyrics? لا تسل عن سلامته روحه فوق راحته ددته أمه كفنا من وسادته. Thank you. So the poem, لا تسل عن سلامته, ask not of his well-being, the well-being of the refugee, of the freedom fighter. The poet was Ibrahim Touqan. The music is by contemporary Syrian composer Tahir Mamelli. These two figures became partners of creativity. Unfortunately, Hatem Ali left us in December 2020, very sad. He was born in 1962. He passed away 2020, has anyone seen the film Peace by Chocolate? It was the last thing he did before he died. He was also an actor. You wanted to say something? Oh, you watched all of the Taghriba, so you speak Arabic. Oh, wonderful. It took me years to convince myself to watch it because my parents couldn't watch it, by the way. My parents are Nakba survivors. They could not watch it. And then I thought, oh my God, if they can't watch it, how could I? And I only watched it properly, literally, the day after Hatem Ali died. Can you imagine? Because I was too scared. I was too scared. The beauty of the work between Hatem Ali and Walid Saif is that Walid Saif is a historian as well. So the history in the series is sound. When they got together, they decided they wanted a scene where there are no words. They worked with a great Syrian actor of Kurdish origin, Khalid Taja, and they asked him, without words, to show how he felt. So Khalid Taja plays the patriarch who's just been kicked out of his village. 2-3 days on the road, they know not what's happening. The Red Cross comes and gives them some dates to eat while they were running away. Then the penny drops when this patriarch, that generation that saw Palestine go, he realized, oh gosh, there's no going back. We're stuffed. That's it. We are refugees for good. Here comes this most iconic scene from the Palestinian exodus. That's it. Can you imagine? I'll play it again if you want. And look at his wife and his son looking into nothingness. And Khalid Taja was told on the spot, show us how it feels when you realize you're not going back and you are a refugee for life. Oopsie daisy. Few minutes, few seconds of silence, if I may. And then to make things worse, for Hatem Ali, a few months just before he died, the Abraham Accords are signed. This is the eraser of the Palestinian exodus. They even want to erase the memory of the exodus of the Palestinians, not just the memory of Palestinians. That's why they don't want UNRWA, because UNRWA testifies that there are refugees. Something happened wrong in 1948. There are refugees. There is occupation. So on the 15th of September in 2020, the Abraham Accords are signed. Check this out. Less than a month, a Saudi-owned streaming platform, Shahid, removes التغريبة الفلسطينية from its online library. That's it, erased. They didn't want to upset Netanyahu. Let's, my God, there is a famous TV series that talks about what happened in 1948. How dare we? They withdrew it. Backlash and action. Audiences across the Arab world and on social media react strongly and launch a campaign, including the website Mishhek, if you know, very cheeky. They launch a campaign that they actually instantly lowered the ratings of Shahid platform. So Shahid platform reinstates the series after intense pressure. The NBC group that owns Shahid said expiry of broadcasting rights is the reason why they removed it. 29th of December 2020, no relation, but still it's painful. Hatem Ali dies in his sleep in a hotel room in Cairo. How is this circle even more complete that Hatem Ali worked with the same great screenwriter to give us this? The Andalusian trilogy. Again, Palestine al-Andalus. So not only did he give you this amazing TV series on the Palestinian expulsion, but he gave you the Andalusian trilogy. The first one was called Saqr Quraysh, Falcon of Quraysh. It's about Abdul Rahman the first Umayyad. Thank you. The first Umayyad who actually made the most tough journey on foot from Syria to Iberia. Then Rabi' Cordoba Spring, about Al-Mansur ibn Abi Amir, if anyone is interested or knows something about Andalusian history. which is the beginning of the decline of the Umayyad dynasty, and then Taifa kings, Muluk al-Tawaif. During that time, that poem that Blas Infante used is from this era, the third one, and it's about the great poet and poet king of Seville, Al-Mu'tamid ibn Abbad, who helped build that palace that I showed you. There was supposed to be a fourth one about the fall of Granada in 1492, but because Hatem Ali passed away, it didn't happen. So the tetralogy became a trilogy. No, just he was making political asylum to leave Syria. I mean, he was not popular with the Assad regime. He was actually kicked out of the artists syndicate. He never, he wasn't like, oh, I'm against the regime, but everyone knew that Hatem Ali didn't approve of the Assad regime. And the Assad regime made a point of throwing out quite a few serious filmmakers, including Hatem Ali. And he was on his way he filmed the film Peace by Chocolate, which I strongly recommend. It's about a Syrian family that becomes, they became refugees in this godforsaken village somewhere, town in Canada. And the patriarch, played by Hatem Ali, makes chocolate because his chocolate factory was bombed out in Damascus. And it's a beautiful, beautiful film called Peace by Chocolate. So natural causes as far as we all know. Still great loss. Rarely, there are few people, when he passed away, I don't know if the Arabs in the audience can actually, waves of grief throughout the Arab world, which shows you that entertainment and TV series are not necessarily lightweight. They can dig into the collective. 900 days today, by the way. Today is 900 days of the Gaza genocide. I decided not to put a gory image. I decided to put a picture taken by a good friend of ours, Thomas Suarez, about the Gaza port. Look at the beautiful boat. There may be a Hamas operative hiding in one of the boats. That's why they bombed them, maybe. These things don't exist now, unfortunately. The port is not the port anymore. So I wanted to remember the 900 days, but to remember the beauty of Gaza. I have been lucky enough to go there twice. In the 90s, I worked with a group of refugee women in Shati camp and researching songs from Gaza. I would like you to go to a song called The Fishermen's Songs from Gaza. Did you get to that page? This was taken also by Tom Suarez. Again, whenever I see an older picture of Gaza, the first question is, where are they now? Where are their children now? How are they now? And these are questions that are very difficult to live with, and that's us. Can you imagine them? Yes, 2 days ago, the Israelis were shooting on fishermen. I don't know if you followed the news. And 8 months ago, they actually killed a couple of fishermen. According to nautical international agencies, fishing in Gaza is one of the most difficult professions in the world. Why? It's not just shooting at them. I wish it was only that. It's a war of attrition. It's ruining their equipment. The word for attrition in Arabic is horrible. It's istinzaf, to bleed you out. They are being bled out. They bleed them out. They ruin their equipment. They shoot at the boats, not just shoot at them. So it's to paralyze every facet of being able to live, to exist, to be. I'm always thinking, my God, existing as a Palestinian will be seen or is seen as being anti-Semitic. Me standing here and singing these songs will be seen as anti-Semitic. Before I say anything, even if I was singing, summertime and the living is easy, I'm Palestinian by existence. So we're going to honor these fishermen who were shot and killed. I collated these verses from different sources, and it's a beautiful song. Something that I was talking to Dr. Dali about it yesterday is that many people in the West still cannot fathom that the sacred and the secular are not that separate in the Arab world. So although this song is a fishing song, but they are giving praise to God. They are giving praise to Prophet Muhammad. So even wedding songs are also sacred songs. That separation doesn't exist in the Arab and Muslim culture. Even Christian Arabs, by the way, Christian Palestinians, they say, Salli ala nabi ya zalami. Wahid Allah. The Arabic word for God is Allah. Christians say Allah. Allah is not some mythical creature that the Muslims worship. Allah is God. God is Allah. So let's do some vocalizing. It is very difficult for me to do this section. It was easier to do the general Palestinian one, easier to do Al-Andalus, but this is in our faces. So it is difficult, so I will need your help here, okay? I'm going to sing it, and then you listen to it and you let me know what you think, okay? Not of me, of the song. Don't worry, I know how to massage my ego myself. Hey Allah ya ilahi, ilahi. 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 Hey Allah ya hey Allah. إلهي صباح الصباح واصطبحنا إلهي هي الله ويا ستر الله هي الله ويا عناية الله. There we go. Now let's go to the chorus. I think you can do it. One. Okay. No, I think I need to do my drum for this one. I need some drama. Oh, but I can't if I'm singing. Let's do it one more time before the drum, okay? One. So I need the drum. Hey Allah ya ilahi, ilahi. Hey Allah ya ilahi. And again. Hey Allah ya ilahi. إلهي هي الله يا إلهي. Let me hear you. Allah. Moving on. Hey Allah ya hey Allah. صباح الصباح واصطبحنا. Hey Allah يا ستر الله. Hey Allah يا عناية الله. On your own from the top. And Hey Allah ya ilahi. Hey Allah ya ilahi. Again. Allah ya hey Allah. Hey Allah ya. Moving on to the verse. And Allah ya hey Allah. إلهي صباح الصباح واصطبحنا. إيه الله ويا ستر الله. إيه الله ويا عناية الله. Now, what I would like you to do, man, this is really good. You are honoring each and every person in Gaza, dead or alive, by singing this song. So now I want you to sing it again, thinking of what I just said. I want to hear you sing it again, while you know you are honoring their collective memory. Each and every person in Gaza, dead and alive. This time, I just want you to sing the chorus, that's it. And then go softer and quieter and quieter. So this time we'll do it without, I had to do the frame drum to put it in context. Would you like to have another go with it, top to bottom? Let's go for it. But okay, online people, I'm putting the microphone on the desk. Okay, please, I didn't leave you. Because I'm gonna play, would you like with or without the drums? They are very demanding here, by the way. All right. By the way, you sound amazing from where I am. Wallah, wallah. Are we ready? Hey Allah, ya hey la hey. Remember what I said. Hey Allah, ya hey la hey. And again. Verse. Oh yeah, hey Allah, hey Allah, يا رح الصباح واصطبحنا. يا الله يا ستر الله، يا الله يا عناية الله. Chorus. Hey Allah ya hey la hey. Hey Allah ya hey la hey. A bit quieter, keep repeating. Hey Allah ya hey la hey. Hey la hey. Hey Allah ya hey la hey. One last time. And again, quieter. Hey la hey. Give me the tonic. Well done. Did you think of them when you were singing this song? Is the right answer. There are generations who have never left Gaza. Born, lived, and died. But how do they leave Gaza sometimes? With the kite. Sometimes it's their only way of connecting with the outside world. The kite flies more than they do. I used the design of this kite to take me somewhere, but before we talk about the design of the kite, the gentleman from Nazareth is leaving, and I object because my mother is from Nazareth. ليش طيب؟ طب تعال قبل ما تمشي تعال، غنية نصراوية، شو بتغنوا بالناصري؟ تعال. إسا إجا وإسا راح، تعرفها؟ طب شو بتعرف؟
ناصري
إلا شو؟ من
ضغط حطي فيه.
تحت الضغط، تعال وين تعال. ولا غنية من النصر بتعرفيش؟
لا بعرف.
رمانك يا حبيبي.
بعرف.
يلا أشوف. رمانك يا حبيبي، يا حبيب قلبي، يا نصيبي. الله يفضح لك. بهمش. Well done. Thank you for coming. People from Nazareth is renowned for its a rich musical tradition, like Aleppo in Syria. So they have similar rich, like old wine musical traditions. So the kite reminds us of a very special person who wrote about the kite. Rifat Al-Ar'ir, 1979, 2023. Rifat was visiting the Folger Shakespeare Library in Capitol Hill, and he decided to put his Palestinian scarf on Shakespeare's picture. I took this picture from his website, rest his soul. And Farah, God bless her, mentioned the setting of the poem he wrote that I set into music. It is a fundraiser for UNRWA. You see that? Remember the kite? It's there. And we did this to raise funds for UNRWA because, again, is to do the actual remind the world. UNRWA is being demonized because it is the lasting testimony that there is a refugee problem. They are there. You can't. It's just like when MBC Group tried to delete the Palestinian Exodus from its online library. They want to delete UNRWA. So if you visit my Bandcamp and if you fancy donating to UNRWA, they would be very grateful if you buy. It's only £2.50 to raise funds for UNRWA. If I must die, you must live. To tell my story. Another full circle. When Hatem Ali, the Syrian filmmaker, died in December 2020, the students at the Gaza Islamic University decided to honor him. So they decided to subtitle the program. They decided to subtitle the Palestinian Exodus. Under whose supervision? Read the name at the end. Rifat al-Arair. Another full circle. So Hatem Ali, as we said, died in December 2020. On the 1st of January, literally 2 days after Hatem Ali died, in honor of filmmaker Hatem Ali, the Business and Technology Incubator, their account on Twitter is there, X, is translating and subtitling some scenes from the TV series التغريبة الفلسطينية, the Palestinian Exodus. The translation was conducted by trainees at the Login Project, which is run at BTI at the Islamic University in Gaza under the supervision of Dr. Rifat al-Arair. What happens when they target and assassinate Rifat al-Arair? All the documents, including the translated documents of this series, are destroyed. Some have left. If you go to their account, you will find some, but the bulk that was under the supervision of Rifat al-Arair is gone. Which leads us to a painful word that was coined by a Portuguese sociologist, Bonaventura de Sousa Santos, epistemicide, destroying the universities in Gaza, killing the professor who's translating a TV series that talk about the expulsion of the Palestinian. NBC decide to remove that series. It's always erasing. We want to erase UNRWA. We want to erase the Palestinians. We want to erase their existence. We want to erase everything about them, even the fact that we killed them. Erase. It's difficult even to breathe when you talk about this epistemicide. But always they get me out of my grief, the big mamas of Palestine. I'm not going to lie to you, as a diaspora Palestinian who has not suffered anything like the people who live in Palestine, specifically in Gaza. The only ones, at least in my experience, I don't know about yours, that has lifted me and continues to give me a reason to live are these big mamas. I always say they smell of eau de toilette made of lavender with chicken broth and mastic granules. And when they kiss, I just miss that. And that's what keeps me going. I'm just being honest with you. You know, it's an antidepressant. You know, there is Prozac and there is Big Mamas. You choose. So we are, as I said in the abstract, that the Big Mamas will usher us into my presentation, beginning and end. It's the umbilical cord, it's the womb, it's the land that will always exist, no matter how much you try. I will play for you now a short excerpt of a field recording I did with a group of women, not these lovely women from Gaza. Look at them, look at that, look at the voluptuous smile, look at that. And they say Arab and Muslim women are shy. Look. في أحلى من هيك. And yet they're practicing and Muslim and they're proud of, you know, it's not Arab Muslim women. Look. This. يلي أصطفر عماد صلوا أن محمد دامع من عيني هواه قرآن وبين الناس ما التحكي وعن أيام طلعوا بالدبكي واستبغت هدومي وحدد أول ما إجينا ما إحناش أين من. Before I continue, these women asked me, what's your name? I said, my name is Reem. Oh, we have a song for you about Reem. Reem is Arabic for gazelle. Okay, it's an old pre-Islamic name, often used in love poems, so that in the old days, pre-Islamic and early Islamic, when a man was in love with a woman, he wouldn't give her name so that her drive doesn't go gaga. So he would call her Reem. Oh, Reem, slim, as you can see, my beloved Reem with big brown eyes. That's the only part I got right. So they said, oh, we have a song for you. Oh, gazelle of all gazelles, you who plan to go away, as you set out on your journey, offer your praise to Prophet Muhammad. See, always the sacred and the secular. My eyes flooded with tears. I cried over our parting, and I'll continue to cry over our parting. I have taken a vow of silence. I've forbidden myself from dancing the dabke. I have dyed my clothes dark, and I have gone into mourning. So I said, when do you sing these songs, mother? And she said, weddings. That's Palestine for you. Weddings. And then this woman, the matriarch, was beginning to say, well, when we came here to Lebanon, we didn't have... And then another one interrupted her and kept on singing. So you will see what I mean in a second. Sorry, Rifat, I love you, but we have to go. Allah yarhamak wa yahsin ilayk, ilahi ya Rab. Let's listen to it again.
يلي أصفر عما صلوا أن محمد دامع من عين أقوام وقرآن بين الناس مع التحكي وعطوا حيان الثعب الدبكي واستبغت هدومي وحديت أول ما إجينا ما إناش حين
Continue singing. Don't talk about the sorrow. For those who are into musicology, it's an ostinato, the same melodic, 4 notes. These are the lovely big mamas who have inspired me all my life. This is my most famous song, by the way. And I remember 30-something years ago, I'm having now withdrawal symptoms as a Palestinian who grew up in Kuwait when Trump decided to bomb Iran again. I'm having all the withdrawal symptoms about the invasion of Kuwait in 1990. When I was studying here, I was cut off from my parents. My father was a physician in Kuwait. I knew nothing about him. They didn't know how I was doing. So I used to go to BBC World Service to sing at the BBC World Service Arabic program so that my father could hear me in Kuwait and know that I'm keeping well here. Can you imagine? These little stories that you don't see on Newsnight, okay? So, and I was very depressed, and my professor at King's College sent me to the counselor at the university. And I said, I don't know what to make of this. I was born in England. I grew up in Kuwait. Kuwait is gone. Where am I? I'm nothing. And he said, what's your name? I said, my name is Reem. And he said, don't worry, Reem. What does it mean? I said, it means a gazelle. He said, don't marry, Reem. We will make this gazelle sprint one day. And that's where the word sprinting gazelle came. The way these women sing this song, it's a wedding song, but it's a sad song. Why? Because it's part of a genre called furaqiyat, from the Arabic noun farq, meaning separation. These are songs and folk poems performed to express the pain of parting, sustained by a faint hope of reunion with loved ones. It's not a mourning song. The person is not dead. It's worse. You don't know if you're ever going to see them again. A common theme in Palestinian oral traditions, especially since the Nakba of the Exodus of 1948. And think of people under the rubble in Gaza, whose relatives cannot bury. They know they're dead, but they don't want to believe they're dead. Oh, they're missing. They're still under the rubble. In conclusion, this is extremely important. Using the 3 examples, the people we traveled with today, the 3 groups, the Palestinians, specifically the refugees, the Egyptians, specifically the Egyptian Labor Corps, the Moriscos, specifically those who were forced to become Catholic, two things: that our relationship with the oppressors are the ones who construct our identity. They try to redefine it. So they define us as inferior, dangerous, primitive. They call us that. And then to make it worse, they ignore our own self-identification. So when I identify as a Palestinian, Melanie Phillips comes and says there is no such thing as the Palestinians. That is redefining. That is what they call in sociology identity construction. They decide to give my identity a name that I don't relate to. They decide to tell the converts in Spain, you are Moriscos. No, I'm an Iberian like you. I am Fallah minkum, flamenco. I am one of you. The oppressed, on the other hand, be they the Palestinians or the Egyptians or the Moriscos, what we did today together is preserving the language. That's how you fight your identity construction, through shared remembrance or memory studies. Preserve the language, the memory, the music, the stories, even our shared trauma. Can you imagine? We share the trauma. We reclaim or reinvent our identity, collective identity, as a form of resistance. So even when I am eating za'atar, habibi, I am resisting someone who tells me not only is za'atar Israeli, but there is no such thing as a Palestinian. I want you to look yourself at the mirror tonight and see how it feels when someone tells you you have no right to exist, personally and collectively. Then you come and say, oh, but Hamas. This is the punchline over the last 2.5 years. Oh, but Hamas. No, oh, but 1948. Oh, but 1917, Balfour Declaration. Oh, but 1916, Sykes-Picot Agreement. Oh, I can give you O's till the cows come home. And all you have to say is, oh, but Hamas. This is important. Please try to remember this. It's about identity, how they construct the identity on behalf of the oppressed, and the oppressed have to reclaim their identity. This book by L.P. Harvey, Islamic Spain, 1250 to 500. It has always surprised me that so little attention has been paid to the period at the end of the Middle Ages. You know, the Morisco expulsion. Sorry, Auntie. It has always surprised me that so little attention has been paid to the period at the end of the Middle Ages, when Islam was in the process of being eliminated from Europe. Now comes the punchline. Many of the attitudes that help generate modern misunderstandings were formed at this time, including Islamophobia. Thank you so much for coming. Trackware Festival of Literature, everybody check them out. I would like you, out loud, to read this sentence with me again. And it has always surprised me that so little attention has been paid to the period at the end of the Middle Ages, when Islam was in the process of being eliminated from Europe. Many of the attitudes that helped generate modern misunderstandings were formed at this time. So when sometimes someone comes and says, Reem, why are you singing a song about Moriscos? I tell them, this is why. Because we need to keep our memory. I am dedicating today's presentation to an aunt figure, another diaspora Palestinian who was the Arabic teacher of thousands of Palestinian children in Kuwait, Mrs. Faize El Yahya Safarini. She was a survivor of the Tantura massacre. I set one of her testimonies to music. You can find it online. Before she died, she wrote a book called Call of the Lilies. It's in Arabic, Nida' al-Zanabiq, where she specifically talks in not shy terms about what happened when in front of her a group of men were killed and thrown in a mass grave. And she ends her memoir by saying, because she lost one of her rings, what's the use of losing one ring? I've just lost my homeland. So this is not just for Auntie Faize. Everybody called her Faize. She just died last year. This is for the people in Gaza. So before we do our cooling down, I would like a minute's silence, please. Thank you very much. We warmed up for Palestine. We will cool down for Palestine. It feels like a long time ago when I started the breathe in, breathe out with you. Does that feel the same with you? We traveled across centuries, by the way. Whew! You have been a wonderful audience and very good singing voices. Scotland, that's why. So we breathe in. Dalia, I am خلاص انا بكلم خلاص ماليش دعوه ابو تقل دم امك. I know. Please, Dr. Dalia is one of the organizers. Can we give her a... She has to catch her vapor, her train, to go back to my birthplace of Manchester. Thank you. I'll touch base with you later. So we're about to cool down. Remember the breathing in. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out from your mouth, pursed lips. Take your time. Be quiet, sorry. Oh. Sorry, bear with me. So, and again, breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. Next time, we'll do the same exercise. No yawning, no sighing. We will breathe out with the oh. So take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. Oh. I would like you, as you are singing this tonic, this qarar, to think of everything we spoke about. Travel. Shut your eyes if you want. Travel across centuries and continents and times and places and faces and people and musics and poetry, oppressors and oppressed, occupiers and occupied. Absorb everything we spoke about. Beauty comes as well, not just trauma. Creativity comes as well. Rifat al-Ar'ir wrote a poem that will last long after the lifetimes of those who killed him. And we will finish our cooling down by a beautiful word in Arabic, Ilhamdillah. Ilhamdillah, 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 Ilhamdillah. Keep going. Keep going, please. You stop in this. East Bank stops. Keep going. East Bank. Ilhamdillah. 2, 3, 4. Ilhamdillah. Dillah. Ilhamdillah. Ilhamdillah. Dillah. Ilhamdillah. West Bank. Alhamdulillah. 2, 3, 4. Alhamdulillah. Let me hear you. Keep going. Keep going. Alhamdulillah بنينا دار الحمد لله. الحمد لله انت لك عرسان الحمد لله. الحمد لله بنينا حوش الحمد لله. الحمد لله انت لنا قروش الحمد لله. الحمد لله. الحمد لله. الحمد لله. لك الحمد. Your high note is your high note is Alhamdulillah. After 4 times, each and every one of you end in their last note. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. 2 more. Alhamdulillah. 1 more. Alhamdulillah. No applause, please. Thank you very much. No applause, please. No applause. I want you to absorb things. Stay where you are. No applause. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you to the online listeners. Online listeners, you're not allowed to applaud as well. Farah, in your own time, please come and take the stand. Thank you. Farah, your microphone, my darling.
Wow, Reem.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm speechless, Reem. I'm left with no words, really. Thank you, really.
welcome.
Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And I speak, I'm sure, on behalf of everybody here.
Thank you and
It
organizers. and
was
so on.
absolutely an incredible, very, very moving and needed
Thank you.
purification, I would call this session, to purify our souls, to remind us of what matters really. I think Reem spoke for every single suffering, everyone who has been suffering, was suffering, is suffering. She beautifully, powerfully represented and spoke on behalf of all those suffering souls. The Moriscos, the Egyptian, the Palestinians. But there is a sense of universality. We share all the suffering, the trauma. The trauma travels from one place to another, but it also travels from one generation to another. Like Reem, I've never been to Palestine. I've never lived in Palestine. I don't know what Palestine is. I only know Palestine through songs, TV series, folk songs, folk stories. And through this beautiful lady, I know more about my homeland. This repertoire, archive, live-in memory that we need to have and we need to remind ourselves, always. There is hope. With resilience, we can reach many things. Resilience not about fighting the other constantly and being always in struggle with everyone and taking a fight with everyone, but resilience is also by living life, loving life, and enjoying the beauty of a culture that is unique, extremely unique. Thank you very much, Reem. And I would love I'm conscious we are running out of time.
Did I overstay my welcome? Was I too long, or was I stuck to the time?
You were perfect. Don't worry about timing. You were incredible. It's okay. The building, I think, closes at 8.
Oh, we've got loads of time.
And there is a sort of a mini reception. However, I would like to invite you here for if anyone has any question, Reem, we
Don't
can
be shy.